A few weeks ago, I completed a 5-day fruit and juice cleanse using ChatGPT and traditional Chinese medicine to help me create a few recipes for the intentions that I set for myself. So in this video, I'm going to give a full recap of how each day went, and I've even created a little tracker for myself to kind of help me score each day in terms of my intentions that I set. So I wanted to talk a little bit about the purpose of why I was doing this. At the time, I really needed a natural detox, and a juice cleanse is a great way to achieve that. And so what it does is it gets rid of a lot of the toxins, as well as resets your digestive and your endocrine system. And I think at this time I was just feeling so fatigued and drained, and I wasn't really doing much, and so I knew that I needed to clean my own system. And what I noticed is that a lot of people have a hard time with a fruit or juice cleanse because they find that they get hungrier throughout the day, but the key is to have something that's always at reach. So during this 5 days that I did my fruit and juice cleanse, everywhere I went, whenever I left the home, I made sure to bring a little tote bag with me full of coconut water, natural juices that I had made for the week, any sort of fruit that I had handy, so any grapes, bananas, etc. Always had those with me anywhere I went. It doesn't cost much to do a fruit and juice cleanse. However, this time I wanted to prioritize using as many organic products as possible, because before I would just go to any store and grab as many produce as I can, but I intentionally wanted to make sure that what I was purchasing was organic. So I did end up spending about $16 on carrots, which also happened to be one of the only 2 vegetables that I used in my fruit cleanse. And after doing that, I think next time I'll try to make sure that I'm sticking to strictly fruits. I did also go to 3 different places to get my produce, so you can make this easier on yourself by just picking one specific location. For me in particular, I went to a local farm where I got a few things there, and then I did go to an oriental market in my area where I was able to get some more rare items for my fruit and juice cleanse. And then lastly, I went to Sprouts because they have a really good organic selection overall. All in all, I think I spent about $80 for the entire week, and like I said, 16 of that was just the carrots. So it shows you, if you were to not purchase such expensive items, you can make this work for the entire week for one person for about $60 to $75. And this was everything I needed for the week. I did not go shopping for anything else in addition to what I purchased on this day. The 3 intentions that I set were mainly to focus on my digestion, because I was having a hard time with digesting at the time. And I'm someone who eats pretty healthy and someone who takes walks after every meal, but I felt as though I needed a reset for my digestive system, because there's so many factors that can be involved, not just what you're eating, but it can also be things such as not getting enough sleep, it can be your emotions, etc. The second intention that I wanted to focus on was my energy and my clarity. So a lot of the juices that I came up with in terms of recipes were focused towards giving more energy and more clarity and removing a lot of the brain fog that we sometimes accumulate over time. And lastly, I wanted clear skin, so that's something that I really focused on in my fruit and juice cleanse for the week. I was having like very rubbery skin and bumps everywhere, and I just really wanted them gone. So I knew the best way to do that was to change what I was putting in my body and like really help me speed up that process. I did use the help of ChatGPT to help me come up with some of these recipes. As I mentioned, I wanted to incorporate a lot of the learnings from traditional Chinese medicine, and because I'm still in the beginning phases, I figured that I used a little help to kind of come up with some recipes that were specific to my intentions. So I typed in, juice recipes that help digestion and regular bowel movements, just one example. And from there, I created a document that I will link down below, kind of summarizing what my findings were and finding additional recipes to go with some of the intentions that I shared. So after I went through all of my shopping, I prepared my juices for the week. I drank about 3 juices per day, and in between each juice I was eating some fruits, so I always had something ready to grab, and I was drinking a ton of liquids. I usually drink like a matcha latte or a green tea in the morning, but for this 5 days I decided against it because I wanted my energy to be coming from the fruits and not from the caffeine. And so outside of the fruits and juices, I also had some herbal teas such as chamomile tea, dandelion root tea, and some licorice root tea to kind of help aid with the digestion as well. And I'll be doing a recap of each of those days so that you can see the progression of how I was feeling as the days go on. This is day 1 of my cleanse, and I just want to take a look at my face. My energy levels today are pretty moderate. I would give it like a 6. I started a little late, so I spent all morning gathering all the stuff for the juice cleanse. I did have a smoothie and some coconut water, so I have only been having fruits for today, so I'm officially marking this as day 1. And we can see here some skin. This is my face unwashed, just going about my day. I really want to focus in on like the fine bumps and getting a more clear complexion naturally as possible. I'm not going to use my facial products except for my face wash so that I can really see the benefits of the cleanse. And then my focus is pretty good. I would say focus is about a 7 today. And energy, I said about a 6. Skin, I'm gonna give it like a 3. And what else? Oh, and digestion. Haven't done anything yet, but the day is still going, so I'll update you guys on day 2 whether or not digestion was doing what it was supposed to do for day 1. I did have some matcha today, so that may be why my energy levels are 6 and my focus is a 7. So for the rest of this cleanse, I won't be taking any form of caffeine, just so that I can get a more accurate feel for my energy levels moving forward. It's officially the end of day 1 of my juice cleanse and my juice and fruit cleanse. And today was a really good day. I was very productive. I was very active. I went outside for probably half the day and I just felt really good. It's the end of the day. I did get to like wash my face and stuff, and I already feel like it's clearing up. I have so much clarity right now, but again, I don't know if that's because I had the matcha this morning. I have a very low caffeine tolerance, so I try not to drink caffeine that often, especially if it's later in the day. But I'm going to have some dandelion root tea now to help me kind of wind down for the night and fall asleep. And tomorrow will be day 2 of my juice cleanse, and tomorrow I will be drinking 4 juices, or at least I'll try to. And I'm really going to be monitoring my energy levels because again, I won't be having any caffeine. So let's see how day 2 goes. So today is officially the end of day 2, and I will say that today was a little bit harder than the first day. The first day I kind of jumped right into the cleanse, and I find this to be true anytime I've done a cleanse. This is probably like my 4th or 5th time doing a juice and fruit cleanse, and the second day is usually a little bit harder. I found that today I was hungrier. I was more hungrier throughout the day. I had a little bit of a hard time sleeping last night, so I didn't sleep from like 3 in the morning to about I woke up at 3 a.m. and I just couldn't go back to sleep. But I feel like there were so many other factors at play there. So with that said, today was a little bit of a harder day because I was hungrier throughout the day. Starting my day a little bit earlier, I should have broken my fast probably around 8 a.m. instead of noon like I did. So I waited a little bit longer, and I found that there were a few things that I started to notice as well. So a few things to include in my tracker. I'll run through it really quickly. My energy levels were surprisingly about a 6. I did have a lot of energy for not sleeping that much, but I also did get 6 hours. I just woke up at 3 a.m. So I don't know what that's about. My focus and my clarity, I want to say, were about a 4. And my skin, I think it's doing a little bit better. You can see I have like these major bags under my eyes because I just woke up from a 6-hour nap. But I will say my digestion was pretty regular today, so I would give it about a 7 as well. Just still not where I want it to be, to the point where it's much easier for me to go to the restroom and that sort of thing. This felt kind of still a little bit like forced in a way, where I was finding myself telling myself that I need to go to the bathroom and I need to just sit there. So anyway, that was my rundown. But the 2 other things that I wanted to keep in mind that I think would be helpful to track for anyone that's trying to do this for themselves. If this is your first time doing this, I recommend that you ease into it because it's a little intense if your body isn't used to doing it. And the second day is probably going to be the most difficult one because your body is now craving and begging for you to give it these calories that you're used to or these heavier foods that you're used to. So the other 2 things that I would start to track are my mood. Today was a little bit of a gloomier day, and I feel like a lot of it had to do with the weather, but also the fact that I was probably tired throughout the day. And there's a million other factors, but I would start tracking your mood, just even if it's just one word, or if you want to do it on a scale of 1 to 10, also that would be great to start tracking. I would give my mood about a 4 today because it just was not the day. But we got through it and here we are. I would say today was a kind of difficult day, but I think I just had to get over this little hurdle. Tomorrow is going to be a much better day. I know this. But also keep in account when you're doing this a lot of external factors such as your environment, the people that you're around, your job can have a huge impact on how this cleanse goes for you. So if you're in a position to remove yourself from whatever it is that might bring you any form of stress or damper the mood, I would take the days off that you need so that you can complete this cleanse and completely rejuvenate yourself from the inside and the outside. Today is day 3 of my juice and fruit cleanse. I'm looking a little crazy right now because I just took a shower, but today was a very interesting day. Again, I feel as though the weather had a lot to do with my overall mood. However, I would say my mood was about a 7 today, so it's a little bit better than yesterday. My skin is skinning. So I'm gonna give my skin about an 8 today. It feels very clean. I know that there are a lot of external factors. I did work out a lot today, so that would tell you that my energy levels was probably about an 8 as well. I had a lot of energy. I felt like I wanted to go for a run every hour of the day just to kind of get rid of all the energy that I did have, but I was able to channel it into more productive things. I did work out, but I also was able to get some work done, and just kind of utilize as much of my energy as possible. I would say my clarity and my focus today was about a 5, but again, I think that had to do with more external factors than my actual juice cleanse. But overall, I'm feeling amazing. I'm not as hungry as I was yesterday, so I kind of got over that hunger hurdle. I was able to get through the day without feeling that feeling in my stomach of like, oh, I need to eat something. So today I kind of did 3 juices, and then I had some coconut water, and then I had some avocado and plantain chips. That is one thing that if you wanted to kind of change up your, what you're eating. Plantains are fruits as well. So you can either cook them with some avocado oil, or you can buy them from the store. I recommend buying the ones with no salt. So I went and got some plantain chips with no salt, and they had palm oil, I believe, which palm oil is really good for you if used in moderation, obviously. So that was kind of what I ate today, what I did today. I had a bunch of fruits in between. Again, it's so much better when you have something at your hand. You can just kind of grab it throughout the day, because it's kind of difficult to move around and be on this juice and fruit cleanse if you don't have something readily available for you to grab and consume, because you are going to be a lot hungrier throughout the day than if you were doing your usual diet, which is packed with a lot more calories, a lot more carbs, and those sort of things. So you feel full for longer, but on a fruit cleanse and a juice cleanse, you tend to burn through pretty quickly. So you want to make sure that you're constantly replenishing. Anyway, all in all, day 3, I feel amazing. It is currently 9 o'clock at night, and I just still have so much energy. I don't think I'm gonna sleep early tonight, but I am gonna have my dandelion root tea to kind of help mellow me out. And that's one other thing I had today was some tea. I had licorice root at about, I want to say 2 o'clock to kind of help with the digestion. That was one thing I also forgot to mention. Digestion has been doing its thing. I've gone twice today and I just feel as though my movements are becoming a little more regular and they're feeling more complete, and I feel as though my body is doing what it's supposed to be doing. I am the person that takes a walk after every meal, so walking does help me a lot in terms of my digestion, but lately I feel as though it's been doing a lot better because of the juicing that I've been doing as well. Anyway, that's my day 3 recap. I will be back tomorrow with day 4. Today is officially day 4 of my fruit and juice cleanse, and I've honestly been feeling all of the great effects that everyone talks about. I've experienced it before, but it usually takes, that first initial 2 to 3 days for me to get over the hurdle personally. Some people may feel the effects right away, but for me, I notice, the elevating effects usually 3 to 4 days into the cleanse. And today I will say that my clarity has been on 10. I've had some very, very vivid dreams over the past 2 days or so. Today was a little more vivid to the point where I had to wake up, and I keep a little journal by my bed, and I had to write about it. This is usually, I do this during my theta state, so I'm not quite awake yet, but I am awake, if that makes sense. I'll have to explain what I mean in a later video, but I did my morning journaling, recollecting my dreams this morning, and it was just so vivid. And then when I woke up, I just had this insane amount of energy to just be super productive and work on the things that I've been wanting to work on for a while. I've had, like I said, my clarity has been 10. My energy today was a 10. I did some training today, worked out. I, was able to get all my work done in a very effective and efficient way. I did a lot of cleaning, just a lot of energy. My Digestion has been really good lately. I would also give that about an 8 or 9. I'd give it an 8 today. Not quite where I want it to be, but it's definitely doing a lot better. I feel like my body is reacting the way it should to something. So today I decided to have some hummus, but I decided to have some hummus, store-bought hummus, so I didn't make it, which was probably the first mistake, and it had a few ingredients in there that I think might have affected the way that my stomach was feeling, because I'm definitely feeling the effects of that. However, all in all, digestion was an 8 today. And then let's get to my favorite part, which is the skin. So I have noticed personally a significant difference from day 1 to now. My skin just feels very tight and it feels very clean, even before I washed it, because I just washed it, but it just feels very clean and just overall very healthy. There's less, for me, I feel as though there's less of the bumps that I was experiencing before. Less stress obviously also contributed to that, but all in all, I'm really happy with the results. I was originally planning to do probably about 3 to 4 days, but I think I'm gonna keep it going because I'm feeling really good. I have some juices left over. I have about 2 left. I have a bunch of fruits left over, so I think I'll finish this week out strong and then share the rest of my updates. But this is day 4, and I would say 10 clarity, 10 energy, 8 for digestion, and skin. I'm gonna give my skin probably an 8. Yeah, I'm gonna give it an 8 today. But I will be back with day 5. I didn't get a chance to record day 5. I'm pretty sure I did, and I just lost the file. So I'll just give a recap of my 5-day fruit and juice cleanse and include day 5 here. By day 5, I was definitely feeling a lot of energy, to the point where I was probably sleeping only 4 or 5 hours, and that's all I really needed. I think that was really good because I don't think we need to sleep more than that. So, you know, my energy levels and my clarity and my focus were at 10 for sure. My skin was absolutely amazing. It was clearing up so much to the point where I actually ended up extending my fruit cleanse. I didn't do any more of the juices, but I did a fruit-based, mostly fruit-based diet for the next 2 days after that before leaving the country. And all in all, the whole 5 days that I did this, I noticed some rapid and significant changes. I was able to get back to a regular digestive cycle, and you know, my skin started clearing up, my energy was off the charts, and I just didn't feel like going back to eating regular foods, but you know, sometimes we have to in order to sustain ourselves. And so I made a transition back into a lot of quinoa, a lot of chickpeas, a lot of plant-based proteins that kind of helped me keep that energy going. And I will say that I will definitely be doing this again. I think again I'll try to leave out some of the vegetables and stick to just fruits and juices only. And all in all, I really enjoyed doing this experiment on myself because I'm only going to perfect it to the point where if something does come up, or if someone has a similar intention or a similar issue that they'd like to resolve, I'll be able to take the results from this sort of experimentation, this natural healing, and utilize that to help other people. So if you liked the video, if you have any questions, feel free to comment down below, and don't forget to take a look at the document that I provided. Feel free to provide any feedback or any recommendations for future experiments. Thank you.